Hipsters are a subculture of young, recently settled urban middle-class adults and older teenagers with musical interests, mainly in alternative rock, that appeared in the 90s. Other interests in media would include independent film, magazines, and websites. Christian Lorenzes of Time Out New York was quoted as saying, "Hipster culture has been described as a mutating, transatlantic, melting pot of styles, tastes, and behaviors."
Hipsters are the friends who sneer when you cop to liking Coldplay. They're the people who wear t-shirts silkscreened with quotes from movies you've never heard of, and the only ones in America who still think Pabst Blue Ribbon is a good beer. They sport cowboy boots and berets and think that Kanye West stole their sunglasses. Everything about them is exactingly constructed to give off the vibe that they just don't care.
Us hipsters are described by wearing vintage clothing such as deep V-necks, cardigans, and black thick-rimmed glasses without a prescription in them. Us hipsters usually tend to eat fair trade organic foods and can usually be found riding a single-geared bike. Us hipsters are usually known for their artistic values and the fact that they stray from the mainstream. We are fixated on irony, which therefore makes me ironic. Are you familiar with the word hipster?
Yep.
And what do you think a hipster is?
Somebody who does something before it's cool.
Before it's cool?
Yeah, before it's cool. To wear vintage clothing and just be hip.
Cool, thank you. A look inside the hipster culture will include many things associated with art, such things as photography, music, but interestingly enough, things that are popular within the hipster culture are not popular in the mainstream.
Isn't it confusing to care so very much about appearing to care so very little? How exhausting that must be. And isn't it ironic to be so obsessed with irony that you are yourself ironic in your love of irony? Fuck you hipsters, fuck you hipsters. Get a fucking life and get a fucking job. Fuck you hipsters, fuck you hipsters. Shave that shitty beard, you trendy fucking slob. Hiding behind your non-prescription black rimmed glasses with a Pabst Blue Ribbon beer buzz as your method of escape. What a shame you're not allowed to enjoy popular music. Only bands that no one's heard of that sound like dolphins being raped. Fuck you hipsters, fuck you hipsters. If I wanna like Van Halen, I'll fucking like Van Halen. Fuck you hipsters, fuck you hipsters. Those jeans are so tight I can see your balls. Those jeans are so tight I can see your balls.
Hipsters have been portrayed negatively in the media pretty much as soon as they became popular. They've been made fun of online and elsewhere through all sorts of different things, such as the song we just saw and the popular YouTube series, The Gentleman's Rant.
You can't wear cowboy boots, a polo, and a flannel! You asshole! You! You so
I blame American Apparel and Urban Outfitters completely.
Just because you live in Brooklyn doesn't mean you're from Brooklyn, okay? You're from Iowa. Iowa.
Eat something, you wafy bastard. Your diet shouldn't be a part of your fashion. Leave that to the Victoria's Secret models. Nobody wears a scarf in July. Nobody.
Very few people can pull off a mustache, and you're not one of them. Tom Selleck, he can pull off a mustache. Joseph Stalin, the Pringles guy.
You know what's hip? Wearing deodorant. Very in, very cool. You're a hipster, not a hippie.
Wait, what do all those tattoos on your forearm say? I'm a f***ing douchebag. Wow, that's surprisingly easy to read.
If your V-neck was any deeper, it'd be teaching transcendental literature and post-impressionism at UC Berkeley. You got a f***ing deep V, is what I'm trying to say. Real f***ing deep.
You can't honestly tell me you actually enjoy the taste of Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't believe you. You're full of shit.
Hey, hipster black people, come on back. Come on back, all is forgiven. Just come on back. Come on.
Hey, you know what Sinatra never wore with the fedora? A f***ing flannel and skinny jeans.
Taking hipstamatic pictures doesn't make you retro. If you want to look like you live in the 80s so badly, get rid of your $400 smartphone and get AIDS.
Hipsters dress and act alike. But one thing they'll never do is conform.
As J. Patrick Williams puts it, of course it is only in interaction that we can observe the articulation of a social self. Successful identification rests upon expressing a similarity of self to one's peers, as well as a distinction from numbers of mainstream society. In layman's terms, Williams is saying that the only way to identify your social self is through interaction with the mainstream media. As we've already stated in this film, hipsters are known to stray from the mainstream. But if their ascent into popularity continues, does straying from the mainstream become mainstream itself?
Is this vintage or used? Is this organic? I only like their old stuff. Should we just bike there? Don't tell anybody, but I got this at Urban Outfitters.
Torsten Kohland was quoted as saying, "Mainstream youngsters continually confirm their taken-for-granted normality, and mainstream breakers resist the mainstream hegemonic or school culture which usually defies them. Hipsters can be put into this category because they are defying the mainstream, and in doing so are creating their own version of the mainstream."
In conclusion, we have learned that the contemporary hipster subculture is rapidly growing, and some aspects of the subculture are counterintuitive or ironic from our perspective, such as the fact that a retail stores such as Urban Outfitters target the hipster subculture in particular, and is capitalizing and benefiting from such a movement, and this store is particularly in a publicly traded American company. As we are currently living in a capitalist society, many sneer and make jokes of the modern-day hipster and their contradicting subculture. Currently, we are not sure of how long or to what extent the subculture will last. Only time will tell if this will exceed or be a thing of the past.